Ever wanted to destroy someone with artifacts? This is how you're gonna do it. And it is Tavian with MTG Wizard, and we are back today with another video. Today we have Black-Red Sacrificial Bam. The whole point of this deck is to sacrifice artifacts, get triggers off our creatures, and deal damage to our opponent for sacrificing our artifacts. Or their artifacts, or whatever. Alright. And before we start today, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. Let's get into it. Alright. First, we will have 12 swamps in the deck and 12 mountains. And then we're going to go into the deck. Disciple of the Vault. 1 mana for a 1/1. Whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from play, you may have target opponent lose 1 life. This is just going to be good because we're going to be sacrificing a bunch of artifacts, and it'll just be dealing point of damage after damage after damage after damage. It's just going to be really good. 4 copies of that. Next, moriak Scavenger, 4 mana for 2/3. Whenever it comes into play, you may return target artifact creature from your graveyard to your hand. This is just because we can just bring back any artifact creature we want, and then we can just sack it again to deal another damage to our opponent. We're only going to be running one of these. 4 mana for an irradiate. Target opponent gets -1. Target creature actually gets -1/-1 until end of turn for each artifact you control. You can just use this to put counters on our own creatures so that they die. And then we can just deal damage to our opponent. We have 2 irradiates. Shambler, we have... sound like Yoda. Shambler, we have 4 mana for a 2/1. Shambler gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Sacrifice a creature, regenerate Shambler. It's just gonna be good because we're gonna be having a lot of artifacts on our side of the battlefield, and then we could just sacrifice another creature to regenerate it, so it gets those +1/+0 counters. We'll have 1 of that. Next, Shrapnel Blast. 2 mana as an additional cost to play Shrapnel Blast. Sacrifice an artifact. Shrapnel Blast deals 5 damage to target creature or player. This is just here so we can sacrifice an artifact, deal 1 damage to them, and then we could deal 5 damage to one of their creatures or our opponent. We have 1 of those. Atog. 2 mana for a 1/2. Sacrifice an artifact. Atog gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This is just a great way to just sack our artifacts and get a benefit out of it. So we are running 2 copies of that. Molten Rain, 3 mana. Destroy target land. If that land is non-basic, Molten Rain deals 2 damage to that land's controller. This is just to keep our opponent's lands at bay, so he's not going to be able to play a whole lot of stuff, hopefully, and it just deals 2 damage to him. So it's just gonna deal damage to him, and it's just gonna make it easier for us to keep sacrificing artifacts to eventually bring his life total down to 0. Electrostatic Bolt. 1 mana. Electrostatic Bolt deals 2 damage to target creature. If it's an artifact creature, Electrostatic Bolt deals 4 damage to it instead. We are running 1 copy of that. Krark Clan Grunt. 3 mana, sacrifice an artifact. Krark Clan Grunt gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. And it's a 2/2. We are running 1 copy of that. Krark Clan Shaman. He is my man, boy. He's my boy. He is my son. You can see the resemblance, right? Yeah, you can see that resemblance. Look at that, look at that, look at that chin. We are running 1 copy of that. Next, Meyer Retriever. 2 mana for a 1/1. Whenever Meyer Retriever is put into a graveyard from play, return another target artifact creature, or no, artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. This is just a good way to bring back artifacts from our graveyard and then just be able to sack them again. Soon I'll be coming out with a deck that has an infinite combo based around this card and a couple other cards. Pewter Golem. 5 mana for 4/2. And tap 2, regenerate Pewter Golem. This is just to deal damage to our opponent in case the artifacts don't work out. Like a backup plan. Serum Tank. 3 mana. Whenever Serum Tank or another artifact comes into play, put a charge counter on Serum Tank. 3 mana, tap it, remove a charge counter from Serum Tank. This is just good because we are going to be putting a lot of artifacts on the battlefield, and then it's just good. It's just card draw. 1 mana. Skeleton Shard. 3 mana, actually. And 3 mana, tap it, or black mana, tap it. Return target artifact creature card from your graveyard to your hand. This is just to bring back our Meyer from the graveyard to our hand. Pyrite Spellbomb. 1 mana, and you could sacrifice it for a red. Pyrite Spellbomb deals 2 damage to target creature or player. 1 mana, sacrifice Pyrite Spellbomb, draw a card. Card draw and dealing damage to our opponent. Nuisance Engine. 3 mana. 2 mana, and then to tap it, put a 0/1 pest artifact creature token into play. This is just good to a way to sack our artifacts without it being really bad or something like that. Got 1 of those. Necrogen Spellbomb. 1 mana. Pay a black, sacrifice Necrogen Spellbomb. Target player discards a card from his or her hand. And then 1 mana, sacrifice Necrogen Spellbomb, draw a card. This is like the other Spellbomb, but instead of dealing damage to our opponent, you discard a card from his or her hand. And then it just draws a card like before. Mirror Enforcer. Finney for artifacts. This spell costs 1 less to play for each artifact you control. This is going to be good because we're going to be having a lot of artifacts on our battlefield, on our side of the battlefield. And it's just to deal some extra damage. 2 of those. Iron Meyer. 2 mana for a 1/1. And tap it, add 1 mana to your mana pool. This is just for mana ramp. You got 2 of those. Lead Meyer. Tap 2 for a 1/1. Does the exact same thing except it taps for black mana. We got 2 of those. Galvanic Key, 2 mana. You may play Galvanic Key at any time. You could play an instant. Tap 3 and then tap Galvanic Key, untap target artifact. We got 2 of those. Final cards. Dross Scorpion, 4 mana for a 3/1. Whenever Dross Scorpion or another artifact creature is put into the graveyard from play, you may untap target artifact. Cathodian, 3 mana for a 3/3. When Cathodian is put into the graveyard from play, add 3 mana to your mana pool. This is just good, so when we sack it, it will give us mana to play other stuff in our hand. And we are running 2 of those. Alright, that is the black-red Sacrificial Bam. Before we end the video today, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.